All
Good,
right.
thanks
So
for asking.
Is that
I
like
am
a Rick and
recording.
Morty?
Oh, there you
Is that like a Rick and, are you on the Long Island Railroad?
No, uh, but no, 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 I'm on NJ Transit. Sorry about
Okay.
this.
I recognize the kind of the ceiling similar to, ridden, I'm from Long Island, so I've ridden the Long Island Railroad many a time. So,
Oh, nice, nice. All right, now we got 10 minutes of this interview. Is that correct? Like we
Yes,
got 10
correct.
minutes of this interview. I just want to make sure. Of
Yep.
course.
And I am recording, so I'll send you the recording afterwards.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. All right, all right. Are you still there?
I'm here. Yep. Can you hear me?
All right, all right. Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yep. Gotcha. Yep.
All right, perfect. So, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good hanging in there.
Yes, definitely. So, congrats on your new movie. I got to look at this the other day, and I got some questions about it. I really enjoyed this.
Cool. Awesome.
Oh yes. So now you've started with some TV shows and a few Looney Tunes cartoons, and now you've transitioned into a feature film. Like what's it like for you?
Um, Very rewarding. Really great to have that experience of doing television. You make television animation pretty quick in terms of animation standards. And you get to sort of learn and trial and error, make a lot of things. You make an episode, it might not be the best, but you just go on to the next one, on the next one. And it was really nice to have a little bit more time to spend telling a larger story. Something I've always wanted to make a movie. Growing up as a fan of animation and filmmaking, is to think that to make a feature film was sort of a dream that I aspired towards. But yeah, it was really cool. Challenging. It's a different animal to sort of figure out and learn about and see how it works and how the nuts and bolts of it works and how to tell a story over 90 minutes or over an extended period of time.
Of course. Now I've seen a lot of Looney Tunes cartoons in the past or so, and most of them regard like Porky and Daffy like either driving each other crazy or collaborating. But in this case, like we're given sort of like a personal touch between them, like an emotional aspect. Like, can you talk a little about that, please?
Sure, sure. I right from the get go when I sort of came up with the film and wanted to tell the story, I knew that we needed to dig into their emotional or their relationship and have emotion because telling a longer story, as much maybe I would enjoy it, but most people are not going to want to watch 90 minutes of characters hitting each other over the head with hammers and whatnot. So I knew I needed a B story or a subplot that dealt with them and dug into them as a duo and as friends and roommates and basically they're sort of siblings in a lot of ways in this film. Um, but yeah, it was important to and that was one of the more challenging parts of telling the story and making the film was tracking that and trying to make that work over 90 minutes.
Of course. And, I'm also told that that you're honoring Bob Clampett with the animation or with the animation and the characters. So like, how does it feel to try to live up to his standards or so?
Well, those are pretty high standards. Bob Clampett is one of the greatest that ever lived. His cartoons were always an experiment and always pushing the medium and to the most extreme at the time in the 40s. And the way he drew was so appealing and sort of like eye candy. Everything had big eyes, and I loved his styling of the Looney Tunes too, and his energy, high energy, fast paced. Um, he's a prodigy too. He started very early on or young. But yeah, we honed in on like sort of mid 40s Bob Clampett, but we didn't want it to be sort of just a genre. I mean, not a genre, a retro film, like make it just like, oh, it's going to look just like it's from 1945 or whatever. So we definitely wanted modern humor and modern cultural references in there, like Starbucks or coffee shops and ride share and the TikTok videos and that kind of stuff. So we kind of blended the two together in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and speaking of which, on the animation, I've noticed like you're using a different besides the Bob Clampett animation, you're using like different animation techniques, like in some sequences or something like that. Like, and it's pretty trippy at times. What's it like splitting it out a little bit, like going out a little bit on that?
Yeah. So Yeah, I wanted to do that early on. I knew I wanted to do like sort of the short within the film, the job montage sequence, the job shorts, and then I changed the aspect ratio. That was a thing. And we have this Art Deco number. That's that sort of Busby Berkeley musical Art Deco number with powerhouse music behind it. And then we did I wanted to do kind of some horror in there with the gum monster in the laboratory. That was inspired by Sam Raimi and Carpenter's The Thing. Yeah, the reason we did it too is like classic Looney Tunes, they never had like a set style. Like everyone was its own film. Like they had different backgrounds, and they evolved. They made them for 40 years. So I thought that was a cool kind of homage to that in a way. Like, there is no set Looney Tunes style. There's a set style for that short, but every short was sort of different in a lot of ways. You also could see the hand of the director and the animators in the drawings of the characters a lot of times on the old shorts, which is awesome, especially with everything so on model and computerized these days. It's nice to see that organic and the human element in there.
That's so, yes. And I think I have time for one more question or so, I believe.
Sure.
So like what's it like working with the voice actors and like making sure that they like do their best, like to bring out the Looney Tunes in them?
Well, we're very, very fortunate and lucky to have Eric Bauza as our main characters, Daffy and Porky. He is a one-of-a-kind talent. He's my favorite voice actor doing these characters since Mel Blanc. I feel like he brings sort of the energy that Mel had, and he's not afraid to sort of go out of the voice and sort of perform with the characters more so than just being an impersonator of the voice. Yeah, and it's incredible. He was so amazing because he would do Porky first. He'd read the lines for Porky first, and then we'd do a couple takes of that, and then he'd have to do Daffy. And I, as the director, you go, oh, I hope this cuts together, because they're talking back and forth. Is this going to edit together right? And every time we got to the editing room and with the editor and he cut stuff together, it always worked. And that's because Eric's so good. Eric did his homework as an actor, and he knew how the characters should respond to each other. And it's just a one-of-a-kind talent. And we have also an amazing cast with Fred Tatasciore as Farmer Jim, and Kenny Milo as Petunia, and we have Peter McNichols as the Invader. We great cast. Lorraine Newman as Miss Gretch, the sort of the first nemesis in the movie in a lot of ways when she shows up to try to take their house away.
Oh yes, and yes. Well, I want to congratulate you on all of your success, and I'm really glad that this is going to be in theaters this February. And I also hear it's going to be playing in Los Angeles for a week or so, like next week,
right?
In December.
Qualifying run, yeah, in North Hollywood, Lenley, yeah.
Oh yes. Okay.
Well, thank you so much. Nice talking to you.
Thank you so much. I hope I